All right. Well, that was great. Glad you uncovered that schemer, Mr. Ferguson, and impressive that you broke the news on the outdoor swim meet. So, want to get on because we're going to run out of time. What would you say was your most impactful story?
I think, Nancy, our most impactful story was the Stadium Bridge. Now, remember, this bridge was built before John Dingell came into Congress, which I think was in the Rutherford B. Hayes administration. And that bridge has been under repair since the Clinton years, as a matter of fact.
I think it was Nixon.
Well, I think it was Clinton.
Truman.
Well, the Truman administration. So the city was looking at many alternatives for the decaying bridge. And our sources, close sources, told us, Nancy, that the city was considering a unique solution by installing a roundabout. And this would be the country's first car-train roundabout intersection, with freight trains sharing the intersection with small, compact cars. Now, we became very skeptical of that, and we voiced our concerns on our show, and we think it turned the tide. In fact, yes, we made an impact there, Nancy.
Good. I'm glad.
Well, also, we impact more than just the news. We impact personal lives, individuals' lives as well, in the course of our reporting. And I'd have to say, you know, you think Ann Arbor, the bright lights and glamour, but we see some stories that really tug at your heartstrings. For example,
can I interrupt you for a second, because we're going to run out of time. I don't want it to run out of time before we have a second episode.
Oh.
Can you tell us
sure.
a little bit about another episode that we're going to see? What's in store for us?
well, the one you're going to see is the latest one that we did. It's primarily on the non-motorized pathway.
Okay, so let's take a pause here and we'll watch that episode.
The Ann Arbor Newshawks. 3 men who make up Ann Arbor's #1 investigative news team. 24/7 they blanket the Ann Arbor area from Plymouth Road down to Briarwood and even further if gas money's thrown in. The Newshawks are there for you, Ann Arbor.
I'm Chance Langford.
And I'm Beaumont Vivant.
Before we get to our main story, a programming note. On our next show, we will have the 17th of our 24-part series on new coffee shops in Ann Arbor that we call Wow, This Espresso Sure Costs a Latte. We'll be highlighting 7 new coffee shops that have opened in town in the past 2 months.
I noticed Andrew's Sitco is in that group.
That's right, Beaumont. And in this cutthroat business, it's important to have an angle, something that will differentiate your business from the competition. So besides the standard gourmet coffee and Wi-Fi, Andrews has seating in the back of the garage, so they claim they're the only coffee shop in town where you can take a study break and watch a lube job or a full tire rotation. So give them a try and remember their slogan, Andrews Sitco Station, where great coffee and gasoline come together. And thank you, Andrew, for all of those complimentary coffees.
And moon pies.
Right, moon pies and complimentary Twinkies. And Andrew likes to point out that these products have so many preservatives that Andrews can guarantee that they will be as fresh today as they were 3 months ago. And I find that reassuring.
And there's more news at the corner of Packard Stadium. We have learned that the new owners are going to be opening a combination medical marijuana dispensary and snack food store. It's going to be called the Food and Drug Mart.
In our main story, we are pleased to report that the City of Ann Arbor is taking major steps to improve the traffic conditions around town, and that's a main concern for many of the citizens. First, the city is tackling the #1 priority, yes, you guessed it, the Fuller Road Transit Center. This structure will accommodate commuter trains between Detroit and Ann Arbor with a 300-foot rail platform and station. That's certainly been a long-awaited project. And the city is tackling the #2 priority by spending $1 million to construct a non-motorized pathway on Washtenaw. For that story, let's go out to Jacques Labatt.
This is Jacques Labatt reporting from Washtenaw Avenue, where the new non-motorized pathway will run from Glenwood to Toomey Road and will link the university to Arborland. City officials have told me that the non-motorized pathway will hopefully accommodate the crush of commuters on bicycles coming from Ypsilanti to Ann Arbor every day. Also, it will handle the groundswell of students interested in jogging or skateboarding from campus out to Arborland in order to do their shopping. And isn't it great that these people will no longer be forced to cross the street to use the existing sidewalk on the other side of Washtenaw? I went door to door to get some positive feedback from homeowners who have paid assessments to have a 10-foot wide asphalt strip, and in many cases a 6-foot high retaining wall built across their property. The most positive response came from Mrs. Eleanor W., who said, quote, "The city should take that eating asphalt and stuff where the sun don't shine." The other responses we got were too offensive to put on the air. This is Newshawk Jacques Labatt signing off from Washtenaw Ave. Back to you guys.
In a related story, we have learned that the dirt mounds resulting from the non-motorized pathway will be turned into an aerial platform on Washtenaw for pedestrians to get an excellent view of the highway planters that beautify the entrance to our city. We have also checked with the city's new botanist, Mr. Nigel Nightsoil, to see what the planting theme is for this year. He reports they are going with the western theme, with western prairie grasses planted between the bricks and the cracks in the concrete cement. And the main planters will have 7 different varieties of tumbleweed. Mr. Nightsoil is very excited, as he should be.
With the top priority non-motorized pathway draining the city's asphalt budget, fixing the city streets, which is the 12th priority on the list, is in need of another source of funds. With that in mind, the city has a new program, Adopt a Pothole. For a $35 fee, you can claim ownership of your favorite neighborhood pothole. Submit a name and a photo, and you will receive a certificate naming you as the custodian. The top 10 names so far are Patches, Phil, Rocky, Tara, Sandy, Puddles, Faith, Hope, McAdam, and number 1, Heafji. If you would like to do the patching of your pothole, the city will supply a shovel and a bucket of asphalt. Or go together as a neighborhood. There's nothing like spreading steamy asphalt on city streets to provide that neighborhood bonding experience. If you would rather not fill your pothole, or you want to wait for the city to do it, you can pay an extra $20 for a device that fits in the pothole and plays your personal message. Let's listen to a few examples.
Easy there, big fella. Oh, baby, that was a good one. Hey, pass the asphalt. I'm starving down here. Daryl, when you dumped me, it left a hole bigger than this in my heart.
And businesses as well have seen the advantage of adopting a pothole. Here are some of the ads that are out there.
Ouch! Was that your lower back cracking? Better call Sam. Does your face have more pock marks than Getty's Road? Get a tube of Acme cream today. Oh, is that a bulge in your tire, or are you just glad to see me? Come on up and get a price from Bill's Bargain Tires.
There's a lot of potential there, and if you'd like more information, call 1-800-AA-HOLE. That's it for now. Good night, Beaumont.
Good night, Chance.
Okay. Well, Jacques, that was excellent investigative reporting on the new Washtenaw non-motorized path, and I must say congratulations to you Newshawks on being the first to report on the Adopt a Pothole program. So can you tell us what mistakes you might have made? Have you ever made a mistake in reporting?
Wow. Well, we have made mistakes, and I guess I'd say, jumping in there, that one of our big mistakes might be to not plug our own shows. So if your viewers, they've seen 2 of our shows, and if they're, apparently they're still watching, yeah. So, or they're fumbling around looking for the remote. However, if they want to see our entire body of work, they can go to youtube.com and enter in the Ann Arbor Newshawks, and that should pop up the 10 episodes or so that we've done.
But back to mistakes.
Now, back to mistakes. Yeah. I would say that one of our worst mistakes was when we reported that the Tios Mexican restaurant was going to be buying the Ann Arbor News building across the street. And that was going to give them enough extra room so that they were going to be able to dedicate an entire floor just to enchiladas.
And that certainly didn't happen, did it?
No.
Jacques, you had one, I think.
Yeah, I think our biggest mistake, or one of the biggest, was we went to interview what we thought was going to be a stream of bicyclists on the new bicycle paths that came into town on Packard Road, and we allocated an hour to do that shoot. And we were there for, I think, 9 hours before we saw the first bicyclist, and he was lost. And think of the money that we burn on this. We have 3 pro reporters 24/7, and we spend 9 hours looking for a bicyclist. That was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a big mistake.
Think of the dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to give us, or would you be willing to give us a hint about future programs?
Oh, absolutely, Nancy. City Council always comes through for us. They're a never-ending source of our stories. There's no doubt about that. Just when you think there's not anything more reportable in our town, along comes a juicy one from the City Council. For example, City Council has presented us with, are you ready for this, the egregious idling ordinance, which is now in discussion at the City Council level. In fact, the City Council is proposing that drivers who leave their cars for idling more than 5 minutes are going to be fined $100, and in fact, taxi cabs and delivery trucks will have even stiffer fines.
We think that there are some interesting situations there. You might have something maybe up on Lover's Lane where you've got a car and maybe the young lady's saying, the time is right, take me, I'm yours, and the guy looks at his watch and says, whoa, we're almost at 5 minutes of idling here. Hold that thought, we're going to have to drive around the block.
No.
That'd be unfortunate.
We think it has unintended consequences.
Yes.
Okay. In these last moments, is there anything we haven't covered? Do you take your time? Let us know.
Well, if we had the time, I was going to give the answer for world peace. What about you?
Nancy, I was going to try and explain the meaning of life in 3 sentences.
And I was going to give the 10 best pickup bars in Ann Arbor, but instead of that, I'd like to point out back to this cash flow issue we seem to have here. I understand that we're not going to be paid what we thought we were going to be paid for this episode, and our cash is running low, so I'd like to tell everyone that's listening that we accept donations, and we have a very, very high run rate. And if you'll just send your checks to J. Labatt, that's 2 T's, 415 North Main. You can just make the check out to J. Labatt, care of Newshawks, 415 North Main, Ann Arbor, Michigan. We'd certainly appreciate that.
And Nancy, is there any chance for gas money tonight?
For gas money?
Yeah, tonight.
Abdominal gas money,
Yeah.
or?
No, just time to get
We've
here.
got that.
We've got that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess not.
Was that a no, Nancy?
That was a no.
I guess that's a no.
Okay.
So, yes.
Oh, well, I think our payment will be the extremely wide circulation that this episode will get.
I hope so.
We appreciate being here.
I hope so. So I want to thank you, Chance,
Thank you.
Beaumont, Jacques, for making a difference. And I want to thank you, our audience, for watching. Remember to send us your suggestions, your comments. We know it's welcome.